All right. Long time no see. We're back here with the Labrador Energy Podcast, which is no longer called the Labrador Energy Podcast. It's called the Dragos Energy Podcast.
The what?
Yeah, I changed it because it was terrible for SEO. Nobody was searching Labrador. Okay.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck is it called? People are keep. Bro, why are you making it difficult for people to find this fucking podcast? Like, I didn't even know. Like, what I want to do, I just want to search Dragos Podcast, and then just want that to come up.
Yeah.
So now it's called the Dragos Energy Podcast. So you have to search Dragos Energy Podcast to find this thing. But it's episode 73. I think I haven't done an episode since summer because it's just been so busy once the shows kind of pop back up again. And if you might remember, this is Daniel OLEL. I'll say hi, Daniel.
Hi,
previous
people.
episode. I think we did like 2 before or 1, I can't remember.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah, exactly. Last time we were talking. Last time, I put some of those clips on TikTok with the Boda Boda.
Yeah.
And they did pretty well. Like, very interested in the Boda Boda. Yeah, it's like
The Boda stories.
Yeah. Like, it's very good. You know about the Boda Boda.
Bodas. Yes.
But we are now in December. It is the 12th of December now?
Yes.
12th of December, almost 6 months later. It's we got vaccinated in the meantime.
Vaxxed and unwaxed.
Vaxxed, exactly. And things are... Oh, I think that's going to fuck up the sound there.
No, it's okay.
Okay. We got vaxxed in the meantime, and we are just now... Well, for us, what we're doing, a little bit of update. I personally stopped all the shows with that we're doing in Berlin, just because I'm not going to be here.
Okay.
And all the propaganda comedy shows we're doing with Chris. Chris gone to Mexico.
Yes.
And I'm going to Romania. Actually, today I was supposed to be in Copenhagen.
Oh yes, you told me about that yesterday.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, basically, they got new rules in Copenhagen, so I had to cancel the show.
Yeah.
Because the new rules said that if you want to continue as a nightlife venue,
Yes.
which is the bar was qualified where I was doing the show at,
Yes.
then you would not be eligible for help from the government. So the guy was like, hey man, if we don't go into like a shutdown, we won't be able to get money from the government and we'll be financially in trouble. So sorry, but I know it's 2 days.
So it was nothing personal, it was just a business decision.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand where they're coming from. It's free money from the government. It's a lot of stress now. And it's also difficult to get people out to the shows.
Because people are scared of COVID?
I think there is a little bit of self-policing going on.
Okay.
I think we've definitely seen some in Berlin.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing it in Romania because I'm doing shows there on the 19th and the first one sold out. And I'm doing another one.
Ah, nice, man. You're killing it in Romania now.
And we'll find out exactly. But yeah, so in the meantime, basically I think we're having this conversation off the mic. But the plan is to do more content going forward at the moment. More content.
So you're going to do more content going forward?
Yeah, like this kind of podcast. So today we're just going to do a little bit of experiment podcast where me and Daniel will see if this, we're discussing what's happening in the news.
Yeah.
And current events. This is going to be like a current events podcast, and if it goes well, we'll spin it into its own little animal.
Yes.
That's kind of the plan. But just playing around with more stuff online. I don't know what the people want. More stuff that is, just basically stuff that they can put in the background while they're cleaning their house.
Yes. Like Anna's podcast?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I had somebody told me that they were just listening to the podcast while they were vacuuming. Which I'm like, how
do you even do that?
I appreciate the support, bro, but like I don't think you can
vacuum because it has to be really loud then.
Yeah, or maybe the point is they're vacuuming so they can drown out the podcast.
That's some sadistic shit.
Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty good. Stuff is growing, I guess, and the shows are doing well for me, and the Berlin shows you run as well have been doing well.
Mm-hmm. We were doing okay. Yeah.
And I think we're maybe this is the last wave. You reckon this is the last? Let's approach Corona as the first.
As the first topic.
Current events, yeah.
I don't think it's. COVID is here to stay. COVID is going to be like the flu. It's going to always flare up. It's going to be flu season is going to become COVID season. So.
Vaccines every year.
Vaccines every year.
Oof.
It's going to be good business. Yeah, COVID is. I mean, it's mutating. It goes around the world. It changes and then it comes back. So it's here to stay. I think hopefully this is the last wave we have.
Like that's gonna where people are actually have to have lockdowns and that kind of stuff, right?
I hope it's the last one.
I mean, it's been 2 years now, right?
It's been 2 years.
Fuck me.
2 years.
That's no bueno.
That's no bueno, bro.
Did you get a booster yet?
Not yet, dude. The lines.
Mm-hmm.
The lines are insane. Have you got new booster?
No, I was supposed to go tomorrow. I had a lead on this doctor that does it in English in around Caracas bar.
Oh.
So I was said just show up and you'll get it. Because I got the Johnson & Johnson. They said after 5 months you should get something else.
Yes. Yes.
So I was planning on going tomorrow, but if not, I'm sure I can get it in Romania because there's plenty of vaccines to go around.
But in Romania, someone knows someone.
No, but no, people are just not getting vaccinated. So there's vaccines to go around.
Are they anti-vax?
There's a lot of countries anti-vax, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because Jesus is anti-vax. Jesus didn't get vaccinated. Why can't I get vaccinated?
Hey, Jesus did get vaccinated, but you're going to meet him sooner if you do not get vaccinated.
How's Uganda, like the vaccinations?
People like vaccines, bruv. So I think people people didn't want to get vaccinated, and then Delta came, and people started dying, and then demand for vaccines shot up. Because they're like, no, I'm not going to get vaccinated, and then you see your friend dying.
Right.
Yeah, but so there's not enough vaccines, to be honest. It's like less than 10% of the population.
Really? Because the supply?
Dude, yeah. I mean, what these, like, for example, Botswana, Botswana's shipment was given to another country, despite Botswana paying a higher price to Moderna.
Really?
Yes.
Why did they do that?
The other countries had a better relationship. They could put pressure on Moderna.
Right.
Like poor African countries are paying higher for the vaccine, and they're also, they're paying higher for the vaccine, and they're at the back of the queue.
Wow, so look at that, two different perspectives. In Romania, people have the access to the vaccine, but they're giving it away because nobody wants to get vaccinated. And in Botswana and Uganda, people don't have access to the supply chain, right?
Yeah.
Get out. All right, so basically, vax, anti-vax. We are moving on from that. What else is? What's with the show situation? How many shows do you run now?
So we run one show very regularly every Thursday.
This is the Love in Berlin.
Crazy Stupid Berlin.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
I'm gonna forget the name right.
Oh, my bad.
It's Crazy Stupid Berlin. We run it every Thursday at the Wall, and then we have another regular one. Which has undergone so many iterations. It started off as It's Lit, then we changed it to Fresh from Friedrichshain, and it's back again as It's Lit.
Right.
Actually, no, Fresh from Friedrichshain is still alive. We resurrected It's Lit as a new concept.
Right.
It's Lit is struggling a bit.
Okay. Are you doing it at the Wall or?
No, we do it at Kiki's Coffee. It's a new place.
This is up the street from Caracas, you're saying?
Yeah, so it's a bit difficult to get people in West Berlin to come to comedy shows.
Yeah. I mean, we were doing a couple of things as well, like in that, because that part, like you said, is a bit difficult.
Yes.
And then we were playing around with some other formats, but I think at the end of the day, it's like if you have a clear communicative format, people will come. Because like, Abi and Simon started doing a show on Saturday at Caracas. And it's called Identity Crisis. And that's a good name. People get it. They're like, oh yeah, I want to do crisis. Yeah. Because they're like, who am I? Am I from here? Am I from there? I'm living in this other countries. It was a good kind of format.
Yeah.
But for now, basically, we've kind of stopped it because we're not going to be here. Like for example, the shows that we run, myself and Chris. Yeah. We're not going to be in town. But you guys doing a Christmas special? No, we're not doing shows about Christmas. So the Christmas week we are skipping. So we're doing a show this coming Thursday, the 16th, and then we're doing another show on the 30th. We're skipping Christmas week. We're skipping. I think maybe also the world is going to be closed. Right. So we're skipping those and we're jumping to it. I think the show on the 30th is going to be packed. Yeah, because there's usually a lot of times there's a lot of people left around. Exactly. How do I call it? Last mad dash to the new year. Yeah. So if you're here in Berlin, come see us. Last mad dash to the new year. Last mad dash to the new year, the day before Sylvester's. Nice. What else we talk? So we want to talk about some other stuff in the news. You want to go to the Prime Minister of Finland? Bruh. Prime Minister of Finland is cool, bruh. I think that shit was cool. What was the news? You wanna? So the story was the Prime Minister of Finland went to club. When she went out to a club up to she was out until 4 a.m. She left her work phone at home, and she had been exposed to COVID, right? So she had been she was a contact of someone who had tested positive for COVID, and they couldn't reach her because she had left her work phone at home. Outside of working hours. Outside of working hours. I was just like, this is the coolest shit ever. First of all, you like good work-life balance. Work hard, play hard. I was like, this is so cool. She was at the club, basically. So she was at the club. She was out in the streets. So the Prime Minister of Finland, from what I looked into it, she's like 36. Yeah, she's a millennial. Yeah, she's a millennial. She's out there. She's running the country, and then she's going to go to techno. Party. And then people were upset. Or what was the general reception? I mean, I think
think more or less the Western media, particularly like American and UK media, was the like the Prime Minister goes to the club.
Yeah, why not?
Like, and I was like, yeah, of course. She's in her 30s.
Yeah, she's trying to get some of that organ, whichever organ she's into.
No, actually, she's married and she's got a kid.
Ah, okay. She's trying to get away from the kid.
but also, I don't think she was dancing. I read an article which showed that she was just seated, like, you know, like when you go get a table at the club and you're just chilling and you're seated. So I don't think necessarily she was like out dancing. And I also think it was a fancy club because, man, if you imagine if Angela Merkel went to Berghain.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's part of the culture. Represent, you know.
Represent. Oh my goodness.
But probably the Prime Minister of Finland wasn't in a club where people were throwing up on the floor. You're saying. Which happens a lot in Finland.
They drink until they throw up?
Yeah, well, and then you put more in. That's how it works.
Oh, for real?
You empty it up and then you fill it up again.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like the drinking. Have you seen the? Oh, we talk about movies as well. Have you seen what's it called? The movie with Mads Mikkelsen, Another Round, where he's basically they're experimenting to see how alcohol. Spoiler alerts, I guess. I don't know how alcohol affects you if you have like under percentage.
Yeah.
Drink a bit to see how it goes, and they talk about how the drinking culture in in Denmark, for example, is just like people always just drink, and the kids like a rite of passage. You just fucking get drunk all the time. And anyway, the point was that drinking is a big part of that culture, just socializing and
it's a big part of every culture.
Yeah.
But I would also understand why anyone would drink a lot in Finland, bruv.
Yeah, there's not much to do.
There's not much to do, and it's dark in the summer. I noticed that in the winter. I noticed that my drinking goes up in the winter.
Have you been? Oh, yours? Okay, yeah.
I drink.
I mean, my snacking has gone up in the winter.
Tell me about it.
Bro, I just had a donut. Like I came here from Dunkin' Donuts and I was like, fuck, I gotta get it. Because Dunkin' Donuts is everywhere in Berlin at the moment. Have you seen this?
Yeah, they're everywhere. Bro. Like pretty much every place that is decent, a mall, they're in every mall pretty much.
But when did this happen? Because it wasn't like...
Yeah, no, you're just noticing it now. They used to be everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I remember listening to them. I became more aware. I was listening to that, Business Wars?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was listening to Business Wars, a podcast by Wondery, I think.
Yeah, I stopped listening to it. I used to listen to it, and then after some time, I was just like... I lost interest when they did the Netflix story.
Mm-hmm.
Was okay. I was like, okay. But then they did the one about BioNTech and the vaccine wars. And I just read a book about the vaccine thingy. And I was like, these dramatizations are a bit too much for me.
Yeah, but this is what they do. They basically they find some books and then they just basically regurgitate the content in a more, kind of like, in an audio format, of course.
Yes.
And in a more kind of like, I guess, compressed way. And, there's a lot of the reading and the stuff, the dramatized, there's a lot of acting.
Yeah. And also the WeWork stuff. Did they do WeWork?
I think they did, yeah. I think it was one of the...
We crashed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think if you listen to Business Wars, it's a great podcast. I like it. But do it after. No, do it before you read the book on the topic.
Right.
Because if you already know like the details in the book, then the podcast feels a bit shallow.
Right. No, 100%. Yeah. I mean, the point is, I think it's supposed to get you to buy the book, if I'm not mistaken.
That is a smart idea. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Because I was listening to it and I saw there's a really fun one, the PlayStation one, and versus was it Nintendo and like
I didn't listen to
Xbox. That was pretty good.
Did you also listen to Even the Rich? It's part of the Wondery Network.
I haven't seen, but I've heard of it because they were advertising quite a lot. Isn't it good?
It's good, but then again, it gets old after some time.
Right.
They did a really good one on Harry and Meghan. They did a good one on Madonna. They did a good one on Britney Spears. But then after some time, like, I think the podcast gets very monotonous. And then you're like, okay. And then another thing that pisses me off is that it's like 6 parts. And I'm like,
right.
And the especially Business Wars, it's 6 parts. And each part is like 30 minutes. I'm like, you can make this into 2 parts.
I agree.
Like, I would rather listen to like 3 hours.
I don't know. Like for me, like even the rich one is like I don't really want to listen to what rich people are doing, what their sufferings are. I have like no empathy. I remember having this chat with Moni.
Yeah.
Where she was basically telling me how brave Prince William, Prince Harry. What the fuck is his name? The guy with the
Prince Harry.
Prince Harry is like with the struggle he's facing, being rejected by his family and the mental. I was like, I don't give a shit. I think Prince.
He's rich.
I think he's gonna be fine. I don't want to, fill up my mind with Prince Harry's struggle. I got my own struggle to worry about. You know what I mean?
Potato. I gotta worry about my own potatoes. Yeah,
exactly. It's but to be honest, actually, I think my listening of podcasts has gone down in the past 6 months.
Mine stayed constant.
Really?
I have one or two podcasts that I
what do you listen to?
I listen to Pivot. Scott Galloway, the dog.
Okay,
that's a jungle cat.
Startup?
No, yeah, it's tech business and it's tech and business and politics. They talk about politics.
Right.
It's mostly tech business oriented, but US tech oriented.
Right.
Scott Galloway and Kara Swisher.
Oh, okay, I know Kara Swisher from Recode.
Exactly. Yeah. She and him make a very good team.
Right.
He brings the business part of it. She brings the journalistic aspect to it. They have a very, very good chemistry. And I feel it like when one of them goes on holiday, then the show is not as good.
Right. Okay. It's the chemistry.
It's the chemistry between the two of them and the way they play off each other, which is really, really good. I enjoy that. I listen to it 2 times a week, every week. I listen to all episodes this year.
Okay, that's pretty intense. I think the only one that I've kind of kept up with has been the Tim Ferriss podcast.
I tried listening to it and I couldn't.
They're very long. You have to really, because I don't listen to all of them. I have to see who's on.
Yeah.
And then see if they have anything interesting to say.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a couple of fun ones recently. There was the one with Bajani Silva something. It's the CTO of Coinbase.
Mm-hmm.
You know Coinbase, right?
The crypto marketplace.
Yeah, so he was talking about NFTs and the rise in NFTs and what does it mean and how does it look. And I was like, this is a pretty interesting podcast.
Okay.
And there was another one with, who was it? Oh, Andrew Chen from A16.
Oh, hey, and from Anderson Horowitz.
Yeah. So he was also a very interesting podcast as well. He was talking, I guess because a lot of these guys, they go on the podcast to promote their book.
Yeah, and Andrew Chen is like a famous growth hacker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so then it was a good chat to kind of figure out. It gives you an idea of what's happening because there's that saying about like the future's here, but it's just not evenly distributed. I feel like these guys, the investors, like especially Silicon Valley, they're like really at the forefront of what's going to be big next.
Yeah, I wish there was a European equivalent of these tech podcasts in English. That is good.
Well, the closest that we have in Europe is like Atomico, like in Europe, Atomico.
Atomico, the investment firm.
Yeah, but they don't have a podcast.
No, I'm talking about the podcast.
Oh.
I'm talking about. I would love to see like a European.
I think there's
European podcast that tackles like the topics of the day.
Especially in Europe, right?
In Europe, like with a European focus, and then you're like, okay, so this and this, and then also the European market is very fragmented.
Maybe this is a niche, yeah. But how do you collect all the data? Because to be honest, I think most of the investments are like they're focused in UK, probably in the Nordics,
Sweden, like crazy. Germany, France is growing. But yeah, so I listened to that. I also listened to All In. It's Chamath Palihapitiya.
With Jason Calacanis.
Jason
Calacanis, or what's his name?
I used to read it as Jason Calais.
Khaled. Jason Calais.
It's Calacanis, I think. I used to read it as Jason Calais for some reason. David Friedberg and David Sachs. It's a very good podcast. I like it because I don't agree. There's so many times I listen to that podcast and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? Or I feel like they come across as like a bunch of entitled rich guys.
Yeah. I feel like Chamath started like as if you don't know Chamath Palihapitiya.
He's a billionaire. King of SPACs.
Yeah, exactly. I think he started off like with some good intentions and then he went up into like the SPAC system where it seems somewhat scammy, the whole SPAC space. But it's a new...
SPACs can be really good. I think SPACs can be really good for businesses. But then also because of the very nature and the history of SPACs, is generally the companies that went public via SPACs were companies that couldn't go public directly.
Yeah.
And now SPACs have become a vehicle for companies to go public, quote unquote, cheaply.
So for people that don't know what a SPAC is, it's a special purpose acquisition vehicle.
Acquisition company.
Acquisition company, yeah.
So it's basically a bunch of investors go to the public markets and they say, give us money. And then they raise that money, and then they have 18 months or so to find a target company. And then they merge, and then that private company becomes a
instead of an IPO, which is initial public offering. And the reason why they do the SPAC is because there's less due diligence, less scrutiny, less money going to the IPO issuer.
It's exactly, and also it allows the company that is going public to be a bit more creative with the way they present to investors. Because when you do an IPO, there are strict requirements around what you can say and how you can paint the picture of the business.
And I think basically what the big ones are like Virgin Flight or something.
He has done Virgin Flight. I think he also did
Virgin Space or whatever it's called.
Virgin Galactic.
Galactic.
Virgin Galactic. He did. I think he did Health.
Clover.
Yeah. And then he did Open Door.
Okay. Yeah.
He's done I think 6 IPOs.
Right.
Chamath is a really smart guy. I mean, that's the main reason why I listen to that podcast. I listen to it because the guys on that podcast are either investors or journalists or both, and they have a very interesting take on, which is this case, the U.S. economy and tech and startups. And I really like listening to it, although I disagree with a lot of what he said on those podcasts. Right. It's still sensible debate, and that's why it's really just listening to it. So it's Pivot, OLEL, and there's another podcast called Acquired, where they basically look at businesses that were acquired or have gone IPO, and they talk about the story of the business. They've done very interesting ones. They've done Roblox. Okay. They've done Berkshire Hathaway. They've done Standard Oil. They've done every.
So was Roblox acquired by somebody?
No, it went public.
It's public,
yeah. So if it's either acquired or it's a public company, they do very, very like those podcasts. This one here is very long. It's about 3 hours per episode.
Who the fuck plays Roblox? Because this is like with Roblox, like they have like these games that are like apparently so big, but I don't know anybody. Maybe this is an age gap, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly teenagers.
Because Roblox basically, I heard somebody talk. If you don't know Roblox, it's kind of like Minecraft. Is it like Minecraft, but different a bit because you have like an ecosystem.
No, Roblox is more like the metaverse. It's a gaming platform, so anybody can create a game.
Right.
But it's also mostly the metaverse.
Right.
So it's like Minecraft, but for people to build games rather than build. Yeah, fucking metaverse. Yeah, but it's massive. There are millionaires on Roblox.
Yeah, I mean, apparently it's a lot of stuff. I was looking into like minting some NFTs as well. Yesterday, what I did is I bought because I keep getting ads for like unstoppable domains, so I bought dragoscomedy.nft.
Nice.
Like 15 euros something.
Nice.
And I was like, let me see how it goes, what's happening. Because I was thinking if I do want to sell some like clips as NFTs, I'd be like probably good to have the dragoscomedy.nft.
That's true.
So especially since you don't have to, because now basically I have dragoscomedy.com, but the issue with it is I have to pay. Because again, this is how I easier to understand blockchain this way. Because with dragoscomedy.com that I have, the website that I have now, and I'm currently trying to put it up for WordPress, is you have to pay fucking GoDaddy every year like 100 euros or something.
Why don't you use Squarespace or sponsor? Why don't you use Squarespace or?
Well, basically, I have this dude Eric reached out to me, said like, hey man, I'm becoming a developer. You want me to help you out set up the thing?
So you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. So he's helping me out and just giving me feedback. So he's doing it in WordPress.
Okay.
And then he gets to use it as a portfolio thing, which is great. But then the point is, like, I still have to pay 100 euros a year, I guess, to GoDaddy. But with the unstoppable domains, because it's registered on the blockchain, you don't have to pay anybody. So, technically, lifetime, you're saving so much money on lifetime.
Yeah, because you buy it once and it's yours forever.
That's it.
Unless you decide to sell it again.
Or you lose your private keys.
Oh, you heard the story of that guy who lost his hard drive.
Yeah, 100%.
You know you can replace a private key with a passphrase.
Yeah, passphrase. Yeah. So basically, anyway, they issue out a passphrase because so I use Brave at the moment.
Brave.
The browser.
Yeah.
So basically, I have Brave the browser, and then it has like an inbuilt kind of crypto wallet in it. So then I use that instead of MetaMask, which is like another way to interface with like the Ethereum blockchain.
That's good. That's really good.
But the point is, with Brave, how it works is they show you ads directly.
Yeah. And
then they pay you for those ads. So like
do you make any good money from those ads?
Like 4 to 5 USD a month in BAT, basic attention token. But you're laughing, but that it went up from like 80 cents to like 1.3.
Okay.
So it's just doing nothing. It's just showing me ads. And but the Brave, have you used the Brave browser?
Yeah.
It has inbuilt VPN, ad blocker. And it's
I don't trust anybody who says a VPN is free. Even VPNs themselves.
It's not really good. But I mean, I haven't really used the VPN because basically whenever I use the VPN in Brave, it just slows down my whole internet.
Exactly, because everybody's using the same VPN.
Yeah, so then I'm like, it's not really. But the fact that it's blocking all, like for example, when I watch, probably you shouldn't do this when you watch my YouTube videos. But when I watch YouTube in Brave, I don't get any ads on YouTube.
Ah, yes.
Because it just blocks it, right?
That's true. That's true. Oh, good. That's good to know. I think I'm gonna switch to Brave. So I've been using Chrome for forever, but Chrome is a fucking memory.
The problem, exactly, it just eats so much memory, right?
And battery.
Yeah. Especially now with like the new laptop, I get to see like what's the most battery draining thing. Yeah. So there's usually Chrome or like even Spotify's been eating a lot of fucking.
Because it's a Chrome. I think it's a Chrome-based app.
Yeah.
Electron, yeah.
And basically just trying to get into basically this month I've been trying to figure out monetization strategies for like because the audience is growing. So I figure out, so that's why I'm doing the merch stuff. If you want to buy merch, get some merch.
I'm gonna get your potato beanie.
Do it, bro. I'll give you a discount code. Let me know.
Yeah.
Give me a Christmas discount code.
I want to get it. I like it.
Potato. But I told you, basically and this is the thing. Sometimes you get stuck into doing stuff and you miss out on things. But I found out about these guys that are doing the fourth wall thing. It's like the competitor for Teespring. From Phil DeFranco, you know Phil DeFranco?
Phil DeFranco,
yeah. So he's basically like their creator,
partner, investor.
Yeah, he's like an investor / he has a position with the company, and he plugged it on his show because I follow it for news.
What do you like? How do you think of Phil DeFranco?
He's a resilient, consistent guy.
He is consistent.
Yeah, he's a consistent, and he's like that's the thing with like just sharing news that I don't want to. It's a much more
condensed.
Yeah, condensed, and sometimes some of the things that he does on the show I don't really care about because it's mostly US-centric.
Yeah.
But it's good to just sit back and get the news from somewhere that it's not politically
charged.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's no place where you can get news without
someone giving some not extreme view, but some.
There's no independent media, basically.
Media has never been independent.
Yeah, so they're always kind of like biased in a particular direction.
Yeah.
I just want to hear what the news is, and like and I think this is. I was reading this book. Kevin Kelly. Is this guy basically that wrote this book where he talks about. Anyway, he's very famous because he wrote a book back in the 80s about what the internet would be like and did predictions about how the world is gonna look in the 2000s, and a lot of the stuff came true. It's like he was basically, you could just see the trends at the start, and then he did another book about I think 2016 or 17. I read it. It's called The Inevitable, and he also talks about like what's gonna happen in the next 20 years in terms of technology, and he talks about the importance of curators. Like people are just gonna be like you're gonna be paid to just
curate shit.
Yeah, curate shit. Just find stuff for. Again, you have the original the guys that are creating original content. Basically, I was reading this The Inevitable by Kevin Kelly.
Yeah.
And then he was just talking about how the future, of course, you're gonna have 4-hour work weeks, which slowly started to come in. You've seen is the UAE and Arab.
Well, they moved the weekend from.
They have 4 hours. I suppose
the weekend is now 3.5 days.
Yeah,
basically, because they're moving it from Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah.
So then Friday is prayer day.
He talks about the rise of
4-day work weeks.
4-day work weeks, focusing more on the creator. This is 2016 as well, more on creator-focused economy. He talks about the curator economy, people are just gonna get paid to curate stuff and to create.
But the truth is, people have to still manufacture shit.
Yeah, but I think the point was a lot of that's going to be going into
automation.
Automation, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of basically he talks about the rise of industrial machines and automotive stuff. And I listen to that book every now and then because I'm thinking okay, if I need to move some money into investing in some stuff, I was like, what's the?
Send me the link to the book.
Yeah, it's so then he talks about the rise of quantum computing and all that kind of stuff. But I remember seeing the curator stuff is it's true. You need people to there's so much information out there. Yeah. You just need somebody to start fucking shifting through the shit for you,
That's true.
And then they can trust them. This is what the podcasts do. For example, the Tim Ferriss or these other guys, they're curating the shit for you.
That's true.
And who do you need to know about, right?
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah. So this curator stuff is very interesting, and I think that's what DeFranco does. He just curates the news. But to be honest, I think maybe that should be one of the positions that. For example, with one of these podcasts, this podcast could do the same thing,
Yeah.
Curate stuff that we care about, and maybe people might care about as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, other than that, in terms of podcasts, I haven't really been listening to anything new. Joe Rogan stuff.
I don't like Joe Rogan.
But
is it good? I tried to listen to him, but I just gave up.
But to be honest, you don't listen to Joe Rogan because you want to hear what Joe Rogan has to say, right? It's what the guest has to say.
Okay.
So, for example, what was the interesting one? He had somebody. Whenever there's like a new comedian or like up and coming comedian, I like to like listen to see what they got. I think Joe List was on it recently. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
And then who else was there? They had there was that. Oh, they had like the Mark Normand, Ari Shaffir, and Shane Gillis. And that was just like a little bit of a, just for entertainment purposes, people just laughing, making jokes.
Ah, okay. What do you think of Ari Shaffir? What happened to him?
Well, he did, remember he did the Kobe thing?
Oh, that's the Kobe dude.
Yeah. Remember
Oh my god.
remember when he said like, I'm glad Kobe's dead, he was a rapist. He did that, and then like he got a couple of shows canceled, he ate shit on...
You don't come after Kobe, man.
He came, but the thing, that's his thing, he comes after everybody.
But also, you don't do that shit about dead people, man. It's just...
He's been doing it for years, that's his thing, and he's stuck with it.
Well, I guess the chickens came home to roost.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think basically that definitely hit him, like financially, because now he's doing more stuff on YouTube and he's doing more stuff on podcasts, and he definitely got hit by that because a lot of people were like legit upset.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw him live. I saw Ari Shaffir live at the Fringe, and I think I paid like $7 for the ticket, €7 for the ticket at that, £7, whatever the fuck it was, because it was in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And basically, it was pretty funny. It was this show that he was supposed to sell to Netflix, and effectively what happened was, it was called Jew, the show. This is the show that he did on at the Fringe, right?
Yeah.
And basically what happened was, he was about to sell it to Netflix, but then he did the Kobe thing. And then Netflix pulled it. So like
Of course, Netflix didn't want no smoke.
Yeah, so he got hit like on a couple of... Like, and he had shows canceled, he got dropped by the agent. Like, it was like legit, because especially in LA,
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, so he got dropped by a lot of stuff, he started doing stuff online. It's very intense.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think he's obviously the least successful out of that group of like Rogan, Segura, Kreischer.
Yeah, but Kreischer. Yeah.
And it's probably because he's also the least business-minded.
True.
Yeah.
The most business-minded is Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is in a whole other game.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of stuff. Have you seen that movie he did on Netflix, the True Story?
I can't watch it. His acting is good. It's just...
I mean, I've just... the problem is, like, now I somewhat associate Kevin Hart with bad quality. Do you know what I mean?
Come on, that's not fair, but I see what you're...
No, because the last special, I was like, I watched... And this is just based on... Like, I watched 10 minutes out of it, it was like, okay, this is not funny. Then, no...
The last special was not as good.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is not what I want to spend my time on.
Yeah.
Then I watched... I think I came up with another thing on Netflix where he's talking about, like, his life and stuff. It was like
Don't Fuck This Up?
Yeah.
That one I actually enjoyed watching.
It was like a documentary of sorts on his life?
Yeah, it was a docuseries. I actually liked that one because it gave... for professional purposes, it gave me a window into his soul, into his everyday life.
Right.
But obviously it's edited and everything, but it gave me a window into his everyday life.
Yeah, so anyway, I was not a big fan of that, so I was like, okay. And I love the book, man. I love the book.
The book got me started in comedy, man. I love that book. And
I just feel like he's gone in the direction where he's trying to do many things at the same time, and everything is kind of suffering.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no hate on Kevin Hart or anything. Just some feedback, some friendly feedback.
Edit it out of the podcast.
It stays. But I mean, if you look at I heard, what I heard? I heard Mark Normand might be getting that special.
Finally.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think Schultz has the Amazon one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's always the highest bidder.
Huh? Really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
I think he sold the special for $1 million.
See, the question is that a lot or is it not that much?
Depends, bro. If you sell it for $1 million,
yeah.
With the way your current business is set up, that's good money for you.
Yeah, for me, exactly. Yeah.
Because maybe
Because the thing is, like, Schultz can put it online.
You have an agent, so let's say you have an agent, your agent will take 15%,
right,
and then you walk away with 750. But he has an agent, he has a manager, he has a crew that he has to pay, all of this.
But the thing is, like, the question is, if he puts it online for €10, for like $10, whatever, and does he get 100 people to buy it to make?
If he puts it online for $10, they would need 100,000 people to buy it.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, I'm thinking as well. I think you can definitely do it. So I'm saying it probably sell it for much more. Assuming at least 5 to 10.
Because now, back, I mean, this was 2 years ago?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But also, yeah, Mark Norman, I felt bad for him.
Why? He's doing great. He's fucking tripled in audience in the past couple of years, no?
Yeah.
Like his Instagram's definitely been going up.
Same for Sam Morril.
Yeah, I mean, the good stuff. They're basically going up with their, the YouTube stuff.
Independent route. Sam Morril is killing it with the YouTube specials.
Huh?
Sam Morril is killing it with the YouTube specials.
Yeah, and I think, but the problem was, I think he did it on the Comedy Central website, the Comedy Central thing, right?
Yeah.
And then basically all their audience is now Comedy Central audience, and it's not necessarily his own. Whereas with Norman, he did it on his own. You know what I mean? So like he's benefiting more because he has a direct link to the audience.
That's true.
I don't know. That's on the comedy side, but I mean that's what I'm trying to do in the next. To be honest, I'm trying to stay away from all kinds of I don't know, like a lot of places where I don't get access direct to the audience. So yeah, if you haven't given me your mailing list, give it your mailing address, put it on my mailing list, because I think that's the best way to get stuff directly from me. You know?
Yeah, you want to move to direct marketing now.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Like for example, sending out the ticket for the Bucharest show, like because people were on the list before, I just spent no ads for the show, and then just sold out, right?
Yeah.
So that's exactly where you wanna be. Now I'm putting some ads in the second.
That's what Uncle Roger is doing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I saw the Nigel Ng, right? He's doing the Netflix thing in.
So lucky for him, man.
I mean, it's also he figured out something that works. And
should we stop recording?
Yeah, we can stop it.
No.
I mean, do you want to say anything else before we kind of wrap it up?
No, oh shit.
Huh?
It stopped recording.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
How deep?
Let's see.
Like, what's the capacity?
Let's see if there's anything left in the memory card.
That's right, we can use the big one then. I just sort out the stuff. Alright, let me just stop it then. Well, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. We're gonna a little bit of a abrupt stop here, but if it works well, we'll do more. Yeah. This is just coming back to the podcast after a long period of pause. Buy the potato hat if you haven't bought it yet. Check out my merch. Follow Daniel on what's your Daniel OLEL? At
OLEL Daniel.
OLEL Daniel on Instagram. Check him out and come to the shows. He's gonna be here in Berlin. I'm gonna be in Romania on the 19th from 20th. So if you're there, come and get the show. Come and get the show. That's the correct thing to say.
Come and get the show?
No, fuck I'm saying. But thanks for tuning in. Back to the Dragos Energy Podcast, and see you guys next time. Bye.